The first day of summer kicked off. We're officially in summer, but there's going to be summer sales, discount sales for games and tech. But remember, yes, I know you're going to make it out as if, oh yeah, you're going to have to do detective work, but do a lot of extensive digging around from left to right before you jump into what you're about to jump into, okay? I'm just saying. Because I don't know about how things are going to be going with gaming altogether.
Welcome, the Gamer Man's Lounge. Awaken to play.
All good conversations come with a drink. Yeah, I know all meals come with a drink, but we're having a conversation, so that said, I already had something to eat the very minute I woke up, so I already ate the food. So drink, having conversation, drink, whatever. But no, seriously, hopefully things are going well for you guys. As for me, I'm not saying it's going to be a very super serious video, but it is going to be the way that it is. I need a drink. Propel strawberry lemonade flavored electrolyte water. I don't know why you even got a sip on it. Should be basically doing something. But anyway, if I were to say anything positive about gaming altogether, I would get debunked fast. Real fast. Because there's a lot of circumstances that are happening from left to right. Okay? Games haven't been doing very good lately. And yeah, I know there's been a few games that launched and got a whole lot of praise, but it also got a hefty amount of very harsh criticism. Criticism that went way too wild and brutal. Definitely to say that to be the case. And yeah, I'm starting to flash back to all the crazy roasts to the biggest best-selling games of 2023. I'm not kidding. It's gone insane, and there's the situation where you have two games being made out to be like leaking vats of acid. If you dare touch them, you put your life in danger. Whatever that is, that's another concerning situation to go about. But here's the thing, and this is not just video games. It's going to be, and you know what, since I'm going to sound like a broken record, I'm going to save it till like the end of this video. Alright, so here's what's going to happen. So the overall look of things so far in 2023, it's not so great, okay? And I have notes of stuff that I had remembered from left and right. And by the way, I may not remember everything, and what I'm going to tell you right now, there's a big fat etc. I'm going to remind you that when I'm done with this list. Okay, now there is quality control related situations. I don't know what's going on with the quality control situation, but I'm not jumping the gun and going overboard and saying, oh, we're in a quality control crisis. Whether or not that's going to happen, I'll figure that out later. Later in the video, I'll state the solution to this. So, for quality control related complications, we have the bad PC ports. There was Last of Us Part 1 and Jedi Survivor. Oh boy. Yeah, those PC ports were complete train wrecks. And there was some bad game launches. Don't even get me on Forspoken. I mean, don't even get me started on Forspoken. I saw a lot of Let's Players, and a lot of people were like, yeah, what the hell. And Redfall, an Arcane Studios game that was a train wreck. And there was the motherboard drama from Asus. Yes, I did talk about that. Yes, I did talk about that in the news video. And there was an incident with the firmware update in the Asus ROG Ally. There was a firmware update that hindered performance on the ROG Ally handheld. And boy, oh boy, Asus is getting hammered hard from left to right. And yeah, it's going to be yikes. So, And now Gigabyte is caught in some situations too. They're having situations with their GPUs and how they're cracking. This is Luis Rossmann made a video on that, brought that more to light than ever. And yeah, Gigabyte is getting smacked hard with a lot of criticism. And that's the thing. And from my end, I had to replace a keyboard after 2 months. Because the keyboard would just crap out entirely. It would constantly freeze. I would have to plug out, plug in. It would keep going and going. And I'm like, you know what? No, I can't deal with this. I can't deal with this. I'm just going to go order the Corsair keyboard that's a newly designed, newly updated version. I'm going to have that delivered, and I'm going to plug it into my computer. And I had not a situation familiar to the last one ever since. I have never had the new Corsair keyboard freeze up on me like that. It was ridiculous, to say the least. Okay, and the game content updates just end up disappointing, like, say, Dea. When it came to the release of Dea and Genshin Impact, I reviewed her, and I was not happy with how Hoyoverse handled her. Now, speaking of Genshin Impact, we're going to be seeing Genshin Impact 3.8, and yes, finally glad to see that we get more time till, say, Fontaine. Okay? That's the thing. Because really, to be honest with you here, here's the thing, 3.7. Now we get thrusted into, we already did, no. 1.7, we get thrusted into version 2. 2.7, we get thrusted into version 3. And I'm sick and tired of that. Like, where's 3.8? 3.9? And I'm glad we're seeing a 3.8. And I think it was going to be for the best if we get a 3.8. If I remember right, Phase 1's going to be Eula and Klee. Phase 2 is going to be Kokomi and Wanderer. Hey, I said Wanderer without saying Scaramouche. Oh, here we go. That's probably going to be around the corner. So let's check out if the Al-Haytham and Kazuha banners go out. By the time they go out, it'll come out around the corner. That's going to be the thing. Okay? Now, we're glad we're seeing 3.8. I would like to see 3.9, but if not, at least 3.8. That's better than getting all of a sudden just thrown into 4.0 when we're just getting rushed into Fontaine. And really, to be honest with you here, I'd rather see Fontaine in the year 2024. So that way, I know for a fact there's going to be more time put into Fontaine's storyline. Like, let's just be honest here. And NVIDIA, they're AMD too. And NVIDIA has been disappointing with their latest graphics cards, the 40 series. I did news reports about the 4070 Ti. No, people still hammered on that. Understandably so. 4060 and 4060 Ti, especially the 16GB, I wonder if the reception will be more lighter given the 16GB model when it comes out in July. And yes, they did release 4060 early. I will talk about that in the next news video. Okay. That's going to be the thing. And that's the situation here. AMD is also disappointing too, because you have to think about the RX 76, because this RX 76 also dropped the ball. We don't know what's going on. I swear companies are racing each other to the bottom. Oh, and speaking of, this is what we're going to be talking about. Companies are making bad decisions after another, and it's a situation here. NVIDIA, they made some concerning priorities towards AI, and oh my goodness, if you've seen the Computex 2023 keynote, that was a train wreck. Oh my goodness. But it also had some very concerning things. I even find it concerning because people are wondering, is NVIDIA going to leave behind the gamers and stop doing gaming GPUs and replace the gamers with AI bros? Or whatever the hell it is, it's just not looking great. And also, AMD has been procrastinating on Radeon RX 7000 GPUs. And as a matter of fact, when there's No, seriously. When there was RX 40s, there was the RX 40. No, just kidding. There was the RX. Saying what? Ugh. Okay, RTX 4070. When there was the RTX 4070. Alright. See, I'm getting GPU terminologies. I'm getting GPU model names mixed up from left to right. My goodness. See, this is what happens when things and stuff, okay? RTX 4070 Ti. Where is the 77? Yeah, where is the 77 XT? Like 4070, where's RX 77? And we got RX 76. And then the GTX, I mean, no, we're not doing GTX anymore. The RTX 4080, where's the RX 78? Like, I'm confused. I don't know what's going on here. Okay? And the Summer Games Fest 2023, disappointed. After we just had E3 2023 canceled, after E3 2021, really disappointed. It's like, I mean, okay, don't get me wrong, the Xbox Showcase did step in and save things from left and right, did save ass, and Nintendo did have their Direct, and they did do some crazy stuff. Yeah, they're mostly going to be Mario stuff, but it's not going to hide the fact that Super Mario RPG is getting a remake. So that's going to go bonkers. I was hoping to make this a more quicker video, but I'm slipping up, and it's constantly making the video go long. And that's the thing. And Microsoft, from what I've been hearing, they're talking about raising the prices of their consoles, and they're raising the prices of their Game Pass. Now, the consoles, they're going to do like what Sony did, and they're going to, and if you live in the United States, you'll be unaffected. But for Game Pass owners, especially everyone around the world, expect a price increase if that is the case. Oh, and yeah, the video game censorship, it's going to be getting worse. I warned that it's going to be getting worse. Like, last year, 2022, hey, I warned it's going to be getting worse. I warned that it can get worse. I'm warning that it might get worse. Now, I'm going to say, we got really, really, really lucky. Okay, Dead Space Remake. It still had the bloody madness. Resident Evil 4 also had the bloody madness, despite having the altered death scenes. And there's a missing death scene too. But there's the brutality of what's it like to be caught slipping up. That, I mean, it's still intact. The blood and violence is still intact for RE4 Remake. It's still intact for Dead Space Remake. A lot of people aren't very happy with the changed around dialogue. Like, it's not going to be the same as the original. The OG RE4 dialogue, like, people are going to be more fond of the OG RE4 dialogue. That's going to be the thing around here. But at least it still got the violence. So, at least it still stayed as, like, this action, spooky, scary game. At least. That's something around here. So, yeah. But we did get, in Mortal Kombat 1, we did get really lucky because they are still fatalities. But how lucky are they going to get? How lucky are these franchises going to get? Because you got to remember, the goalpost is being moved towards violence. We saw what happened with Martha is Dead. This was an indie, spooky, scary game. Now, this is Sony, and the censorship was done only on PlayStation. That's the thing. But a spooky, scary game that dares be spooky, scary is subject to get backlash. And if games... And I kind of wonder about that. Okay, games that dare to be its age rating, or let's just say an M-rated game that acts like its age rating, that acts more like its age rating, There's a whole lot of scrutiny and a whole lot of shenanigans. And the same thing if a game focuses on being a video game. Focuses on being fun and entertainment. And if you do both, you're just going to get 2 times. That's the thing right here. But there's 2 examples of excessive censorship, regardless of age rating. Now, ESRB is going full Karen on Idea Factory International, and they had to change the dialogue around to keep the T for teen rating, and all this was over curse words, like mild language, like booty, the ASS, okay, the bastard, okay, go with that. An imgur, after having allowed it for many years, okay, and especially have it to where, oh, just keep it unlisted, keep it on link only, okay, they're deciding, nope, we don't want any of it. They're deciding to remove NSFW content altogether after many years. And yeah, it sucks, man. And there's more things than listed, and I'm going to warn you up ahead, and it's a big, fat, huge, etc. And here's the thing. My saying is this. Actually, I have 2 questions. I'm not expecting you, the viewer, to answer them. Okay, I'm asking myself these questions here. What's really going on? Okay, are we actually in a very darker spot in gaming? And most importantly, are we going to be in the middle of a quality control crisis? And the answers to my question will be answered when time comes. It can only be answered. Time itself will be able to answer my questions. It's like we're in a situation where it's more like a wait and see. And it really sucks. Because if gaming really is not in that very good spot, if we're in the middle of a quality control crisis, here's the thing. Our activities are going to be limiting. They're going to be very limited. More limited than ever throughout this year's summer. Especially this year's summer. Because we're having to be careful of what we do indoors, outdoors, and in the comfort of our own home. Okay? Like, here's the thing. People are running over to... because I know what's going to happen. People are going to go to the shopping mall. They're going to go shopping for clothes, or they're going to go to the grocery store and take their sweet time at the grocery stores. And then I'm going to open up TikTok. And then I'm going to see people running for their lives. And then people just stopping by and dining in, and I'm going to see the same thing. I just opened up TikTok, and I found 2 videos. 2 videos. One video carrying a whole bunch of cops from left and right. And the one guy, the cameraman, going like, I can't have shoot. And then the next video, people are running for their lives, and then the person recording in the restaurant, like everybody in the restaurant having to duck the camera person inside. Like, it's crazy. And pretty sure, and I've been seeing a lot of crazy stuff happening. Like, things have gone bat poop insane. Alright. So, just don't take your sweet time at the store, and don't frequent grocery stores too much. Get something that'll last you a while, but if you're coming home with a car full of groceries, I know damn well that of all those groceries you're getting, they're groceries that you have to put together to form a recipe on top of a pot or pan on stovetop. And we're not going to be able to do stovetop cooking a lot. We're going to have... This decade is all about the ability, and we're not going to have the ability. Just if you don't have a microwave, get a microwave. If you don't have an air fryer, get an air fryer. Get a rice cooker. Get a slow cooker. You want eggs? Get an egg boiler. Okay? There's microwave ramen makers, microwave pasta makers, microwave mac and cheese makers. Okay? And I did review a George Foreman grill where you get a small window of time, hands-free, where you get to check around and then you walk on back and then boom, both sides done. And you don't have to worry about it. You can basically shut off the grill or unplug if you have to unplug it when something comes up. Unlike stovetop, where you could just, okay, you're cooking pasta sauce from scratch, and then all of a sudden you're getting a phone call or someone cuts the power out or this and that, this and that. We're having one thing happening after another, after another, after another. We're having to deal with the constant rat race of people causing the biggest poop show ever. And the situation here, everybody and everything is escalated in the worst ways. It is basically the current state of all things, and it is the way that it is. It's affecting video games. Okay? Now, going back to the whole quality control situation, and I kind of wonder about that. As we go back to the quality control problem, if we're in a quality control crisis, this is not going to be just games. This is not going to be just hardware for, like, computer hardware or console hardware. It's going to extend into food. It's going to extend. Because I've been seeing articles from this global news site that's popular saying, hey, Memorial Day, be careful, food poisoning is on the rise. Okay. And yeah, all this is from last decade. It's carrying into this decade because we've been handling things very poorly. And because we handled the events of last decade very poorly, it's coming back and biting us in the butt as we transition into this decade. And it's really going to show. And I warned this in a previous video. I'm going to get a drink real quick. And I warned you in a previous video that yes, this hit the spot. Now, as I warned in a previous video, this decade is not going to be the decade for you. It's not going to be the decade for us. And the question here that we got to ask here, will gaming survive this decade? I don't think so. Many people will point that out. But I would love to see gaming survive this decade. But the issue here is we don't know the direction here because we're already seeing anti-preservation practices alongside anti-consumer practices. And that's the biggest thing. And our indoor activities, our at-home activities, our outdoor activities are being limited. Okay, very limited. The gaming and YouTube videos that I make, these are the safest things for me that I can do. Okay. Like, here's the thing, that's another situation. It's this bad. Like, we're having to be careful with everything you do. We're constantly walking around eggshells. Like, we're not able to get a shower every sunset, a cold shower every sunset in summertime. We're not going to be able to get a full 8 hours of sleep. We're not going to get 3 meals a day. We're not going to get a proper meal. And then there's going to be situations where we're going to be, okay, you know what? Why don't I just go order something from outside because I might as well just order something from Grubhub and have food delivered to my door and be done with things. It is the way that it is. People... And then we're having to do a lot of investigating from left and right to figure out what we're about to get into when we end up buying a game. Because buying a game blindly and jumping in and on a blind playthrough, it's going to backfire in your face in today's day and age. That's the thing. Something's going to come up and all that fun's going to get tossed out the damn window. And I just have to say this at the end of the day. I don't, like the situation here, I don't know where things are going, but we can only figure out when time comes. Like, we're just going to have to wait and see. We have to go wait, and we have to wait and see. Alright? Maybe something will reveal itself, but only time can reveal. And the only person who knows the answers to my questions, especially, is time. time itself. So with that totally said, give it time. We'll figure something out. If we really are in the middle of a quality control crisis, yeah, it is going to be a thing that it is. I know some people right now are going to be talking about the situation with yada, yada, yada. I'm just going to leave it at that because reasons. But I did see the consumer reviews and whatever that is in following that. Yes, I'm going to sound vague the way that it is, but yeah, it's just going back to how things are going to be going. Like I said again, if I were to say anything positive about the games industry, I'm going to get debunked. I'm going to get shut down fast. And I don't know what to tell you. We really are not in a very good spot. We're really in dark times. And really, if you want my honest opinion here, I don't know if gaming is going to survive this decade or not. But my guess here is probably not. We could see a situation. And yes, I know a lot of people, billions and billions of people tune into games. People have video game consoles or gaming computers. But remember Vine? Billions of people used Vine. They made content for Vine. They viewed content on Vine. There were Vine compilations. But then all of a sudden, Vine started shutting down. We had no idea what caused it. That might be the same thing with gaming. And that's the biggest thing. And really, to be honest with you here, I really don't want it to be like that. But if disaster strikes and then Gamerman's Lounge will stay the Gamerman's Lounge. We will also do video game stuff. We still do video game stuff, and we're still going to be doing video game stuff alongside the tech stuff, alongside the anime stuff, which I'm trying to figure out to get back into unless there's going to be some copyright situations with animes. But at least we can go ahead and just at least review anime Blu-ray collections. That's the biggest thing we can totally do at that point. We can get away with that because we can only just show like the Blu-ray box art, and that would be good. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Hopefully ain't nothing wrong with that. I did it when I did my movie reviews for the Ari Aster films. Midsommar and Hereditary. It is the way that it is. But I don't know what to tell you. It is the way that it is. This summer is around the corner, and the weather is going to pretty much accelerate in temperatures, so letting you know up ahead, I'm going to be running air conditioning, and I'm going to be running cooling solutions from left to right to keep myself cool over the summer as we about to hit 100-degree temperatures. Because we already just hit 100-degree temperatures. And I do quality burps, but it's a silent burp. It is the way that it is, but guess what? I'm going to finish this bottle of water. Strawberry lemonade. Strawberry lemonade electrolyte water. Flavored electrolyte water. I love it. Really hit the spot. Thank you for helping me, whoever made those from the makers of Gatorade. Go Fish. The power of electrolytes, OP. But, yeah. We're really in a dark time, and the answer to our questions, time holds the answers. That's all I gotta say. That's all, and I will be looking forward to you in the next video. Peace out.
This is a video product made by a fellow gamer man. We hope that you enjoy the content, and we also hope that you enjoyed the shenanigans. We'll be looking forward to you in the next video. Peace out. Heyo!